Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to be talking about in this video how to find your favorite stock, and basically this is one of the most important parts about trading is finding your stock. If you find the stock that you want to trade, and you consistently trade it, you will get better and learn all the patterns that comes with it, the candle patterns. Um, what I mean by that is basically every single time if there's a reversal and it does a big long candle with a tiny wick at the top, and then a doge candle, which means a small body with two wicks, and then after that it does let's just say another big red candle down, and then you see that pattern every single time, you can start to say, I don't have to wait for that big red candle for confirmation. I can just get in a little earlier and get in at a better price, and boom, I've made money. All right, so you can start to learn it. So I personally, you don't have to like them. I personally like triple leveraged ETFs like TQQ, SQQ. Those are actually my top two favorite ads. But TQQ, SQQ, DRIP, SPXS, SPXL, QQQ, GSX, DLR, UGAZF, DGAZF, Trade Desk, AMRX, Spice, and that's SPC, Virgin Galactic Holdings, basically. And I'm going to be covering my favorite ones today. And they don't have to fit you. So let's just say that you're a slower trader. I'd recommend large cap funds, like, or you just feel nervous. I recommend large cap things or broad market ETFs that are not leveraged or anything. So all you have to do is figure out what type of trader you are. Are you a slower trader? Which could mean you have work in the morning, you're just learning, which I recommend you should do anyways. Don't trade triple leverage ETFs anyways if you're just learning, all right? So, yeah, especially if you're just learning. So, broad market ETFs and large funds like Microsoft and people like that. Now, those are typically long-term trade. Those are typically long-term stocks, but you can trade them in a way where you don't take any of the downside and just take the upside, which is a lot of money. So, yes, here you go. So, this is Weeble. So you don't have to follow this, but my favorite first one for beginners is QQQ. It is a broad market, non-leveraged ETF that focuses on the top 100 companies of the NASDAQ or basically whatever. Is QQQ, SPY. So that's SPY. No, not Snap. So this is SPY, as you can see over here. It's also a broad market ETF, but it follows the S&P 500. Typically long-term stuff. But as you can see, like in one day, 2%. And like this uptrend, so let's just say that you used the stuff that I taught you in the last video. You bought there and you sold at the worst possible time. That's still 3% and in 8 days. So once you get comfortable with that, you can start doing triple leverage stuff. So this is the one that I love to trade. It's basically the Q's market, which is QQQ, but it's triple leverage. So if you see that same 3% in the same amount of time, is 5%. So what triple leverage means is that it follows something and basically just multiplies the price by 3. So if QQQ goes up 1%, it'll go up 3% here, which is really, really good, you know. So you can see here, Spider. This is SPY, so the S&P 500. But top stocks, QQ for beginners, QQQ, Microsoft, Shopify, GSX, GSX, and yeah, top stocks. Wait, no, Logitech and Nvidia. Those things are really freaking insane. Um, so I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're slower. They're slower. They're better for learning. So once you know how to trade stocks, and a lot of it, a lot of it is just copy and paste onto another stock, but another piece of it is learning the actual stock of it. So let's just say you do 3% in about 8 days. Multiply that by your average. Take like let's just say you take 80% of the trades that you make, you win. Figure out how much money you're gonna make, but then for about a month or two, purely just trade that for learning Microsoft, but you just trade Microsoft. Only trade one. Because you need to start learning the patterns, and then once you learn your patterns and you build up confidence, and it's been about a month or two, switch to SPXS, SPXL, QQQ, or another slow stock that's a little bit faster. So if you're on Microsoft, QQQ, Trade Desk, and GSX are your next step. And then after that, you take another month. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm learning, I'm making money. Then you can move to triple leverage ETFs and basically boost your profits even more. Actually, by three. So it's the same stuff about trading TQQ and SQQ. I mean, Qs, the QQQ. It's the same thing, except it's triple. So are you prepared to take 3 times on the amount of risk? Because once you go for it, you can't turn back. I mean, you could turn back, but once you put in a trade and you're like, oh my gosh, I screwed up, it's 3 times as worse. So, bottom tier, you got to think about it as this: there's Microsoft, um, Microsoft, not Microsoft, um, Microsoft Trade Desk, and Nvidia. So that's the bottom. Then there's the mid tier. So once you do a month or two of that, you move to this mid tier, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get it. So you do Shopify, QQQ, SPXL, and GSX. So those are highly traded funds by people. Sorry, my hair. I keep looking at it in the camera. If you keep looking at it, that's the mid tier. Then there's the high tier, and after you learn all these other tiers, you can trade triple leverage ETFs like TQQ, SQQ, UGAZF, DGAZF, and maybe learn how to short the market with maybe learn how to short stuff like Drip and Shopify and stuff. So pretty decent stuff. Basically, you have to make a decision on what one you want to trade. So if you're watching this video, you are 100%, or you're just watching this video to catch up, and you've technically been in the middle tier. But if you're still a low tier, and this is your first time watching this video, you are a low tier. You are trading Microsoft, the Trade Desk, QQQ, and maybe SPXL. All right. Yeah, so that basically explains it all. So next video.